Good morning. Good morning. My name is Don Daniel, founder of Pill Method International, a better way to eliminate debt. And we have made a grand discovery. You see, it is hard, it is almost impossible to fight against a negative. I don't know why I didn't. This is our 201st show. And 200 shows, we've been talking about how to eliminate debt. But debt feels more like a negative. And when you focus on the negative, guess what, folks? You just get more of it. Jonathan, how are you doing today, sir?
Good morning. Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. It's good to see you here. Listen, we're talking about what we've been doing for the past 200 shows, almost 2 years, getting this information out. And we've been focusing on eliminating debt. And I'm not saying it hasn't been successful. But do you see, when you're fighting against the negative, it's like an uphill battle. We need to promote the positive. And from now on, we're going to be promoting the positive. We're going to try to eliminate the word debt from our vocabulary and leverage credit. How do you manage and leverage credit to your advantage? That is the new direction we're going to be going in from this point forward. So listen, folks, if you have a question or a comment today, raise your hand, come up to the stage. And I need you to help me to share the room right now. So go down and hit that little arrow at the bottom with a little square and share the room into the hallways. And you can hit that little person with a plus sign on his head, and you can actually ping some of your friends into the room. We are today focusing on how to manage credit to your benefit, which if you already have credit, how can you pay it down? How can you pay your credit down? How can you leverage it? How can you buy more, invest more, and do more with credit so that you can pay for your house, pay for your education, invest for the future, buy a car, using credit to your advantage. And we're now going to find out why isn't credit being used to our advantage right now? Because in banking, we have learned over the years to use our money inefficiently, meaning it takes more money. Hey, Teresa Abraham, good morning to you. She's saying good morning to me from watching us on YouTube. So folks, we're going to be putting some stuff on YouTube because right now we're simulcasting to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. And we want also, if you're on Clubhouse this morning and you want to see what we're going to be talking about, then go to YouTube and you can log in. And look at here, Lisa Williams Darby. She says good morning as well. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And listen, any more watching us on YouTube as well. Listen, if you're watching us on YouTube, listen, I need you to share this thing out. If you're on social media, share it out and say good morning. I need you out. Listen. Miranda on Facebook says, she says she bought the book. Listen, folks, I need to listen. Something happened yesterday that has never happened before. Okay, let me tell you, for the sixth time, the Pill Method book, Kira Jackson, good morning to you. For the sixth time, the Pill Method book went to number one on Amazon, bestseller on Amazon for the sixth time. but that was the paperback. In the same day, later on that day, the Kindle version or the digital version went to number one as well. So when, you only stay at number one for just a little while, and then somebody else takes over and sells a few more books, and then they take over the number one slot. But guess what, folks? In the same day, I took pictures of it, and I'm going to post it a little later, but I took pictures of it, and then screenshots of the paperback going to number one, and then it dropped down to about 3. All right. But then I went back on Amazon and I noticed that then the Kindle went to number one as well. Thank you, Lisa. All right, Lisa says, I've got, it's an excellent book, great information provided. So folks, if you don't have the P.I.L.L. Method book, get it today. Get it today. And what we did the other day, and I may extend it to today as well. Okay. What we did the other day was, if you bought the book, all right, if you bought the paperback, I was going to go ahead and give you another book as well. We're going to send you a book. So what you do is you take a screenshot of your receipt and go to my Instagram, which you can get to by clicking on my bio here, clicking on my bio, and then go to my Instagram and then upload your receipt and your address to my Instagram. And then I'll send you out another book for free. It's like a 2-for-1. Buy the paperback on Amazon, and I will send you out another book for free, but it's going to be autographed by me. Okay. So you're going to get a free autographed copy when you buy one paperback online today. So we're going to be making that announcement throughout today. And I thank you all for helping me to share the room. So go ahead, folks, go ahead and share the room if you would, please. Help me get the information out there. Continue to share this room to others, and on social media and on Clubhouse. I see Teacher in here. I see Miranda, LAM, Lamb, Howard, and Rosa. Thank you for being here as well. So listen, folks, I need to focus now. I got 14 people watching us online. I have several people here on Clubhouse, but I need Jonathan. Go ahead and help me to get this out here. Jonathan, you here practically every single day. Tell the people, why do you come to this room every single day? We're open. Jonathan, are you there? And if you're speaking, you're on mute.
Yes, I'm here.
Why do you come?
Well, I come here.
Go ahead, man.
Here every day to get soak up all this information that you're providing. This information is life changing. That's why I come every day.
So Nathaniel says he wants to repeat the name of the book. Nathaniel, it's right on your screen. If you're watching us on Instagram, it's right on your screen there. The P.I.L.L. Method, a better way to eliminate debt. It's right there on your screen. All right. Sherelle People says, good morning, Don. Good morning to you, Sherelle. Listen, all of you guys are chiming in this morning. Go ahead and share on your social media, share this information out with people, because what the bank has been doing for years is they've been giving us a way to purchase large items, to purchase things that we could not pay for, like a house or a car or your education. And listen, leveraging somebody else's money is great, but the way it's been done in the past, it is inefficient, meaning we spend too much money doing it. Oh my goodness, Lakeisha Pope is back in the house. She says, good morning, Don. And listen, James Keto, I'm new and curious about the information. So James, listen, we're going to go over some basics here about how the bank is leverage. We leverage their money But what we do, but the way they have it set up is that we pay too much money to use their money. Too much money to use their money. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. We're going to go ahead and I got to finish sharing some things here. We're going to put on our camera here. Okay. And let's see, we're going to share a screen. Let me get this out of the way. All right. And I'm going to, let me pull this over here. Okay. And let me get this out of the way. And all right, so now we're going to put an amortization schedule on the screen, especially for you, James, because this is your first time here. And there's some people here on Clubhouse. This is their first time here. Folks, go ahead and share the room, please. Share it out there so we can get more people in here on Clubhouse and invite others as well. Let's go ahead and put something on the screen so I can show you what we're talking about, okay? So we're going to hit the settings. No, we don't want settings. Let's get that out there. Hit the wrong thing. And we want to present and we want to share the screen. And there we are. And there is screen 3 and share. There it is. All right, folks, let me give you an idea of what we're talking about. All right. And here is what the bank is doing. And we're going to get into why it's inefficient and how with the P.I.L.L method, we can make it more efficient. Okay. The information we've been receiving for the past 89 years, right? This is how we can kill debt, but expose what the bank is doing. And that's the title of the room today. ICE the bank. Interest Cancellation Exposes. That's what it stands for today. That's what ICE stands for today. Interest Cancellation Exposes the bank. So we want to ICE the bank, meaning we want to expose what they're doing so we can learn what they're doing, learn the rules to the game so that we can do it better. How do we do it better? We borrow money at a discount. Let me put this on this. We're going to put $400,000 mortgage at 6% because interest rates are hovering around between 5 and 6% right now. Okay. So we're going to show you that if you can afford the payment because of amortization, the higher interest rates are actually better than the lower ones. If you are on Clubhouse right now and you want to see what we're doing, go to on a secondary device. You can go to YouTube and search P.I.L.L method, and you can see our examples right on the screen. So here's what we need to start. I've got it at 6%, and I want to show you something here. Let me make this just a little bit smaller. Okay. If you borrow money at 6%, all right, then there's 400,000. Here's what the bank wants in interest paid, $463,352. That is actually 115.838% of what you borrowed. Isn't that something? Oh, so borrowing at 6%, it really isn't 6%. You think it's 6% of $400,000. We're going to get into how the bank makes it inefficient and how we can turn it around and borrow money or leverage their money more efficiently so that we can get it at a discount. I love getting discounts. So watch this, folks. We're going to change this to 5%. Okay. Instead of doing this, I'm going to just duplicate. I'm just going to duplicate this. Okay. We're going to duplicate it and then put the new one in at 5%. Okay. 5%. Payment will go down. All right. But still at 5%, the bank still wants 93% of what we borrowed. Look at this, $400,000 in that we borrow, and the bank wants $373,024.40 over 30 years in interest. That's 93% of what we borrowed. All right. So now we're going to Okay, we're going to duplicate this tab. And now we're going to put it in not at 5%, but at 4. Watch this now. 4% payment will go down again to $1,900, $1,909. But look at this. At 4%, the bank wants $287,477.60 on a $400,000 loan, which makes it 71% of what you borrow, 71.869%. This $287,000 is 71% of the $400,000. Folks, that's what's really going on here. James, that's what's up. Okay. And this is so inefficient, it is not funny. Now, let me get into the more inefficient. Let me just go ahead. We're at 4%. Let's just take it down one more. Okay. Let's take it down one more. Duplicate the tab again and take it to 3%. Right now, people would give their left arm for a 3% mortgage. We have 19 people online right now. Keep sharing this out, because if you want to kill the debt, all right, and ice the bank, we're exposing what the bank is doing. We're exposing what the bank is doing today by showing them what this 3% really means. 3% means that your payment now on a $400,000 mortgage is $1,686.42. $1,686.42. But look at this. On a $400,000 loan at 3%, the bank wants $207,111.20. Listen, you don't have to be a math genius to know that this is over 50%. Borrowing money at 3% on a mortgage for 30 years means the bank wants you to pay 51% interest on this. Okay, now, does anybody want to know how the bank makes it inefficient? How are they doing this? Because once you see how inefficient it is, then we can expose what banking is doing to the loans to make it inefficient. Then we can turn around and make it more efficient. How to borrow at a discount. Does anybody want to know how the bank does this? And because I'm not going to tell you if I don't get any response. Okay, I'm just going to sit back. If you want to know how the bank does this, put a number 9 in the chat. Put a number 9 in the chat if you want to know how the bank is so expert in making these loans so inefficient. So more of our money is used. Listen, while you're looking, let me show you something at 6% while you're trying to make up your mind if you want to know how they're doing it. But let me just show you the result of what they're doing. When you borrow money to pay for equity. You borrow money to pay for something so you can gain ownership. And the more you pay the bank, the more ownership you gain. I'm seeing some 9s in here. I'm seeing Teresa Abraham. I'm seeing Jewel Jones. Teresa Abraham, listen, we got to get you started. All right. You and your husband. All right. Roger Farmer says number 9. Let me take a look here. Let me take a look on Clubhouse. Miranda says 9. Jonathan says 9. Teacher Melanie says 9. Teacher Melanie, let me check you out, Teacher Melanie. All right. I want to see what's going on with you, because I'm going to apologize to you right now. If you are a teacher, I'm apologizing to you right now, because once you learn this, you will not be able to sleep until you start teaching it to other people. That's what happens when teachers get this. So I apologize to you right now, Teacher Melanie, for all the sleep you're not going to get when you understand what's really going on with these finances and how we can turn this into a positive. It has always been a positive. We have made it into a negative by the words that we use and how we frame it. But from now on, folks, leveraging money is a positive when you do it in the most efficient manner possible. Okay, I got some nines in here. I got some nines, but look at this. You borrow, see, every time you make a payment, you get more and more and more equity, more and more ownership. You pay the loan down, okay? But look how much it costs to get this equity. All right. Jewel Jones has a question. All right. And this is going to be huge. All right. And Jewel Jones, if you can't stay for the whole thing, all right, if you can't stay for the whole thing, I need you to watch the come back for the replay, because you're asking a great question. Does this work the same for a church mortgage? I'm going to tell you right now, Jewel Jones, that it is possible for your church to pay off what they have borrowed so efficiently that it can be paid off in about 5 years without extra giving from the members. Jewel, how would you like to know how to do that? How to pay off the church mortgage? He says, I can stay. I says, I'm here for it all. I'm going to do an example just for churches today on how a church can pay off their debt in about 5 years. All right. So Jewel, I need you to give me put some information in on you're watching us on YouTube. So give me some particulars. How much do we borrow? How much are we borrowing? At what interest rate and what term? Is it a 25-year loan? Is it a 20-year loan? Is it a 30-year loan? But I need to know if it's a 30 or 25 or 20. I need to know what the interest rate is, and I need to know how much we're borrowing. Okay. You don't have to give us your information. You can make up some information. Just put it in there, and I'll use your example, Jewel Jones, today in our example when I get into how a church can be paid off in 5 years, and about 5 years, between 5 and 7 years, without extra giving from the members. Ooh, ooh, ooh. He says, will do. He's going to get it now. All right, folks. Now watch this. Watch what I'm showing you here. How the bank is getting us to pay our debt down, or how we can get more equity. Because this is why you borrow, to get equity. And every month we're getting more and more equity here, but it's at $400 a pop. $400 a pop, and it's costing nearly $2,000 in interest each and every time. Well, let me show you how they're doing that, because you asked. I'm going to put a calculator on the screen. Now, listen, we got some church folks here. When I show you this, when I show you all this, you can't use any bad words. No bad words. When I show you what's really going on here, how inefficient it is. We're going to talk about the icing the bank today. Interest cancellation exposes what the bank has been doing for 89 years. All right. So here's what they're doing, folks. They're taking the interest rate, which is 6%. The interest rate, which is 6%. And we're going to put in there 0.06. All right. And then what they do is they take the interest rate and divide it by 12. Divide it by 12. And it equals 0.0005. Okay. And then the way that the formula does this is that they take 1/12 of the interest rate and multiply it by the unpaid balance. Now, the very first balance is $400,000. So they take the 0.005, multiply it by the 5%, okay? 0.0005, multiply it by 400,000. Watch this. $400,000 equals $2,000. I need you to take a look at the very first interest payment of $2,000. That's how they did it. So you thought we were paying, just one thing, a certain amount of money, and they take 6% times the whole 400,000. Nope, that's not what they do. Now that you've paid 3 $398.20 towards principal and $2,000 towards interest, you don't owe the same amount anymore. Okay? You don't owe the same amount anymore. Folks, go ahead and continue to share the room. We're in the house for the first time, and somebody may be looking for us online in our club today, but we're in the house. So please, if you're here, go ahead and help me share the room today. We're up to 3 shares. I'm going to share it one more time so that we can get more folks in here because they need to see and hear what's going on. So if you're in the room and you want to see this, go to YouTube and watch it. All right. So Sherelle says, that's awesome, Don. Oh, thank you, Sherelle Peoples. Oh, listen, I am appreciating all of you. So watch this. We have just paid this down. We've just paid this down by $398. So we don't owe the same amount anymore. So what the bank does is do this all over again. Okay, watch this. They're going to take their 0.06 divided by 12 again. This is what their computers do. All right. And then divided by, and then we get this. Wait a minute. 0.06. All right. We divide it by 12 and we get this 0.005 again. And now they're going to take this number and divide it and multiply it by the new unpaid balance, which is $399,601.80. They're going to do it again. $399,601.80. All right. And when they do that again, guess what? Let me see what happens. We're going to multiply it by $399,601.80. That equals 1998. Look at this. There it is. 1998.01. So because this 9 is here, we have to round that up to 01. Okay. So 1998.01. So what is going on here? Every single month you make a payment, they take the unpaid balance and multiply it by 0.005 every single month. So it's not one mortgage. It's not one mortgage, folks. This is 360 separate mortgages because they charge you every month for 360 months. It's 360 separate mortgages. That's why it's so expensive. That's how they can turn a 6% loan into 115.838% loan. And how have they been able to get away with this for the last 89 years? It is because how it actually works is not being taught in schools. It's not being taught. We're here today. Kill your debt. And this is the last time we're going to listen. This is the title, but I didn't come to this discovery until I created the title. The title's already been created, but from now on, we're going to be focusing on the positive. Kill your debt by ice the bank. Icing the bank. You know, I'm known as the interest cancellation expert, or ICE, but interest cancellation it also exposes the bank. ICE the bank. We're exposing what the bank is doing this morning. Is this good information? Is this good information? So we're seeing what they're doing to make it more expensive. So listen, we've got some folks on. We got Deshaun Gardner. Listen, man, I didn't see you in there. How are things going? Oh man, listen, I am so good to it's so good to see you here. And listen, we got to touch base again. Roger Farmer is here. Tracy Howard is here. James Keatle is here. Teresa Abraham. We got some folks online here on Clubhouse. Eppa, Sunrise, Eric, Zany, Teacher, Miranda. All right. So Lamb, Howard, go ahead and continue to share this room right now. All right. So Teacher Melanie says, great information. Thank you, Teacher Melanie. We appreciate that. Now, here's what most people don't know. This is inefficient. How inefficient is this? Let me show you how inefficient it is. Your payment is $2,398.20. Oh man, Kurt, listen, I know you're busy, man, but whenever you can jump in, this is going to be some good stuff from now on. We need our yay to be yay and our nay to be nay. Oh, man, good. Listen, man, I am so glad everything is going well with you and your wife, man, because I know you went through some trouble a little while ago on your island. So I'm glad things are still going well for you. All right. Lisa Darby says, do the banks use the same process for auto loans? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But the rules aren't the same, but they use the same process for auto loans. All right. So what do we got here? So we got a payment of $2,398.20. That's our payment. But our first interest payment is $2,000. Let me show you what we need to be thinking about when it comes to these loans. Not the interest rate, not the payment. We want to give a payment we can afford. But what we need to be focused on, folks, is the interest cost, not the interest rate. When we focus on the interest cost, then we focus in on how inefficient this payment system actually is. So we're going to take a look, and we're going to put into our calculator the very first interest payment, which is $2,000. Very first interest payment is $2,000. Then we're going to divide it by our regular payment. Watch this, dividing it by 23.98 equals 830. Oh my gosh. 83% of this payment doesn't do what you want it to do. 83%. That's how inefficient it is. So if you break it down per dollar, okay, I've got 2,398 of my dollars going towards a mortgage payment. Okay. So if we break it down by every dollar of $2,398, every dollar, 83 cents of that dollar goes to interest. Only 17 cents of that dollar goes to pay down the house. Wow. I see. Listen, Jewel, thank you here's the information. All right. Loan maturity date. All right. 13 years left. Can you get, it is 4.5 cents. And we've got 1177.70. All right. And what was the original term? Was it a 30-year? Was it a 20-year? If you can give me that, that would be great. Because then I don't have to do a whole lot of math because we're live. I can see the 4.5%, and but if you can give me the original term, and I'm looking at this, and I assume that the 1177.70 is just the principal and interest. There's no taxes and insurance in there, so I'm assuming that that's it. All right. So it's a 20-year loan. Thank you very much for that. So we're going to use your example once we break this down. But watch what I'm doing here, Jewel, and you'll be able to see how this all works. So we just saw that 83%, 83 cents out of every dollar goes to the bank in interest, and only 17 cents out of every dollar pays down the mortgage. Folks, Teresa Abraham says that's highway robbery, and she's exactly right. She is exactly right on what's going on. Listen, folks, continue to share. We got 27 people here that's watching us online, and in Clubhouse, we have, all right, we'll see, we've got a total of 13 people in here now. Go ahead and continue to share. And if you want to say something, go ahead and raise your hand and come up to the stage. Okay. So now 83%, that's how many want to know how to turn this around? I told you I would show you how inefficient it is. Okay. How do we make it more efficient? How do we use our money more efficiently? How do we give the bank back their money but pay a lot less interest? If you want to know that, if you want to know how we do that, put a number 8 in the chat. All right, so Nathaniel says, does this also apply to credit cards? Nathaniel, listen, yes, it does. Yes, it does apply to credit cards. Yes, it does. All right. All right. So let me tell you something, folks. Just so everybody's asking these questions, this is great stuff. Here's what you need to know. The average family has 13 different debts. Okay. Mortgages, credit cards, car loans, student loans. Okay. About 13 different debts. Once you understand interest cancellation and how to use your money more efficiently, you can pay off everything you owe, all the credit you've ever used. You can pay it all off in an average of 7 years or so. I don't care how much. Listen, the average is about 7 years, between 7 and 9 years. That is all of your debt, not just the mortgage. That is your mortgage. That's your student loans. That's your credit cards. That's your car loans. All of it can be done in 7 to 9 years. How do you like that? When you understand how inefficient the system is that the banks want us to use. Now, we're going to show you a more efficient system that is more powerful than the debt snowball and the avalanche methods combined. Those are antiquated. Get rid of them. They don't help you. They still make you pay more interest than you need to pay. So if you are bringing a system into your organization or your church that teaches the debt snowball as the most efficient way to handle your debt, then stop inviting those folks into your church and start inviting the P.I.L.L method. Okay, you can go to my ice10k.com, ice10k.com, and you can get information there to invite us to come to your church or your organization and teach a more efficient way to manage your money, but because it isn't the avalanche method and it is not the debt snowball. By far, interest cancellation is more effective, and you can borrow money at a huge discount. Oh my goodness. I got a QR code on the screen right now. Let me see where this QR code is taking us. Oh man, that takes you to the card. Listen, I have such a great engineer that keeps everything going here. So listen, I got some number 8s in here. All right. Yeah. Wow. Not the debt snowball. Yes, teacher Melanie, the debt snowball is inefficient. All right. And we're going to get into why that is right now. Let me show you, teacher Melanie. Let me show you everybody else who wants to know how we can turn this around. All right. Because we haven't been taught this right now. Let's take a look and see payment number 1. Let's call it January's payment. We got January's payment, which we already know is inefficient because out of the payment, only 17 cents out of every dollar went to pay down the loan and 83 cents out of every dollar. Man, oh man, went to the bank in the form of interest, 83 cents. So watch this. We make our payment in January, and I need people to respond to me. All right. And I can see February's principal payment is $400.19. $400.19. So here's my question. I need you to answer me. Do I have to wait till February? If I start this loan in January, do I have to wait till February to give the bank this $400.19? I need you to put something in the chat. Teacher Melanie says, can you do owner financing on a property that has a mortgage, or what is the best option? Oh my gosh, Teacher Melanie, If somebody is doing owner financing and they're using an amortization schedule, you can do the same thing to save money on interest. It's just that they may need help in managing the amortization schedule. All right. So everybody else is saying no. I'm seeing a bunch of no's. I see Keto says no. Roger Farmer says nope. James Keto, Jewel Jones says nope. So Jewel, watch this. So if I make my regular mortgage payment, all right, I just subtracted $398.20 from what I owe, but I gave them $2,000 in interest in January. Watch this. But if I give them this $400.19 in January, guess what happens? That goes to principal. None of this money goes to interest, and I'm paid down to line 2 for $400.19. The same $400.19. If I waited till February, I would have to give the bank a whole bunch of money. But now I just gave it to them early. I just eliminated line 2 from my amortization schedule for only $400.19. Line 2 is gone. Line 2 is gone. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. That is what's up. All right. So watch with this, folks. Watch what's going on here. Because this $400.19 was paid early, I'm paid here down in January. My next mortgage payment for February, because I have a payment every single month, but my next mortgage payment for February is actually on line 3 of the schedule, where this is my new February payment, $402.19 going to principal, $1,996 and a penny goes to interest, and $402 goes to principal. What just happened here? I just turned 360 monthly payments into 359 monthly payments just because I gave the $400.19 that the bank was looking for. I gave it to them early. The whole idea of turning your money to make your money more efficient is find out how to give the bank money where they cannot, makes it impossible for them to charge you interest. So what just happened? I just gave them the $400.19 early. I paid down to here early. My next mortgage payment is on line 3. I need you all to put into the chat what just happened to this $1,998 and a penny on line 2. What just happened to that? What just happened to the $1,998 and a penny on line 2? What happened to that? Does anybody know? Put it in the chat. Come to the stage and talk to me. All right. So Jonathan, if you're still here, what happened to that? Okay. Lisa Darby said it's canceled. Jonathan Jones says it's canceled. Okay. You just canceled. You just eliminated $1,998 and a penny worth of interest you never have to pay. Wow. James Keto says it's reduced. Yeah, so now it's actually canceled. It's actually canceled because a lot of people think you reduce it from 1998-01 to 1996-01. No, that is a separate payment on a separate line. This $1,998 and a penny is canceled from your loan. If you take a look at the entire interest payment that the bank wants, the $463,352, you just reduce that amount by nearly $2,000. Look at that. Okay, so watch this. Watch this, folks. If you listen, if you if you own a home or a church, this is going to be more powerful. This is going to be very powerful. Watch this. We're making it more efficient now. We're making our money more efficient. What if we did this? We made our mortgage payment here. Okay, let's say we have a little money in the bank. Let's just say that your church has a reserve fund. Oh man, when I start saying this, some people start getting some ideas. Let's say your church has a reserve fund. Watch this. What if we did this? We made our mortgage payment and we took a look at the next. Now, again, I'm not explaining the P.I.L.L method. What we're doing is showing how inefficient the bank system is and how we can make it more efficient. More efficient is not the most efficient. Yeah, the most efficient means what is the smallest amount of money I can pay to eliminate the maximum amount of interest per dollar. That is a whole process in itself. That is called opportunity cost calculations. What is the best thing I can do? I just don't want to do a good thing. I want to do the best thing. What is the best amount that this church, that this family, that this business, what is the best amount that they can pay? What is the right month to do it in? What is the right day of the month to do it on to eliminate the maximum amount of interest with the smallest amount of money? That is leveraging at its best. We're going to learn how to leverage today. We're learning how to leverage today. So we're going to take a look at the next three principal payments. I made January's payment. I'm looking at the next three principal payments. $400.19, $402.19, $404.20. Look at this. That's $1,200. That's a little over $1,206. $1,200. So make extra principal payments. So it's not just making extra principal payments. It is knowing what your money can do for you. It's not extra principal payments. It's money you were going to pay anyway, James. You're just choosing the timing in which to pay it. That's how we need to think about this. If we pay according to the bank's timing, we get charged a ton of interest. If we give them money that in our own timing, we make it impossible for them to charge us interest. I'm just giving you some ideas here on how the process works, how inefficient it is, and how we can make it more efficient. Watch this. Oh, Miranda, what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, so folks, if we give the bank this $400 and this 402 and this 404, what just happened? We saved these interest payments right there. The 1998, the 1996, the 1990. Listen, folks, that is almost $6,000 in interest we don't have to pay the bank. Wow. For $1,200, just a little over $1,200 invested in your mortgage, a little over $1,200 invested in your mortgage, you just saved nearly $6,000 in interest. Listen, folks, if you think that's good information, will you please put a number 1 in the chat and start inviting some people into this room on Clubhouse and continue to invite? We got 23 people online watching us. All right. So if you think this is good information, Miranda says phenomenal. If you think this is good information, and listen, I need you to do this for me right now. We're going to take a small break and we're going to reset the room. You're in the P.I.L.L method house today. Oh man, look at all the number ones. Look at all the number ones coming in here. This is good information. You're in the P.I.L.L method house today. If you're on Clubhouse, all right, you're on Clubhouse, and I see that you have tickets. If you have a ticket in your profile, that means you're not a member of the house. Take time out to join the house today. Take time out to join the house today so that anytime we're open, you will get a notification and be invited back to, you can listen, when we're open because you'll get a notification instantly because you're a member of the house. Take the time to join the house today. Also, follow me as your moderator. Oh man, Nathaniel Wiggins says this is good information. Kathy Sims says it's good information. James Keatle says it's good information. All right, James Keatle says divide extra principal payments bi-weekly or even weekly. Nope, you can't do that. Not on a mortgage. Okay, my clients, if they have a bi-weekly payment, they get rid of it. It's gone. Let me tell you what happens with a bi-weekly payment. Okay. The most it can do on a 30-year loan, the most it can do for you is cut out 7 years. That's the most. Most people think that a biweekly payment, because they've heard it so many times, can cut out 15 years. Not. If you look it up today, Google it, you'll find out that a biweekly payment can do, on a 30-year loan, can do between 4.9 years and save you 7 years. Save you 4.9 to 7. That's it. We're saying, and that's just on the mortgage. With the P.I.L.L. method, we're talking about paying off the mortgage, student loans, credit cards, car loans, the whole shooting match in about 7 years, saving you 23. When you understand interest cancellation, folks, it is the most powerful thing on the planet, because before now, the most powerful thing on the planet was charging us interest. Ho, ho, ho! How inefficient it can be. We're now showing you how efficient it can be once you know what's going on. Roosevelt Thurman, listen, man, I haven't seen you in so long. I haven't heard from you, man. Good morning, sir. Great to see you are still performing financial miracles. I love that you're in here today. So go ahead and share this with people, folks. Go ahead and share this. I need to show you one last thing here. One last thing. And we're going to do, James Keatle says, very interesting. Wow. Okay. So listen, when you know the truth sets you free. The Bible says that the borrower is slave to the lender. The borrower is slave to the lender. And we all know that in our history, it was illegal to teach slaves how to read. Why? Because if you don't have that education, then you will remain a slave. Well, if you can't read an amortization schedule, then what the Bible is saying is true, that the borrower is slave to the lender. But once you learn how to read this thing, you can leverage money and be done in about 7 years. And if you know anything about some truths in the Bible, did you realize that in the Old Testament, debt or money you borrowed was actually forgiven every 7 years? We think borrowing is bad, but if you borrow it this way, that your debt is actually eliminated in every 7 years. And we now have a program that can get rid of your debt in about 7 years or less. Whew, how powerful is that? Lisa Darby said, absolutely. James Keatle says, very interesting. Now, watch this. If you think that's interesting, I'm going to show you something even more powerful. If right now you put a number 2 in the chat, I'm going to show you some very powerful numbers right now. If you all put a number 2 in the chat, Jonathan Jones has said, this is info you can't keep to yourself. You're right. It's like fire shut up in my bones. I can't keep it to myself. I got to let it out. All right. So if I see some number 2s in the chat, oh, look at all the number 2s coming in. I'm going to show you something. Teacher Melanie, listen, I told you, I apologize to you already. Okay. I apologize to you already. Okay. So folks, I need you to do this for me right now. We're going to stop. I see the number 2s coming in, and we're going to reset the room. You're in the P.I.L.L. method house today. Join the house if have not joined the house. All right. Follow me as your moderator. If you haven't followed me as your moderator, go ahead and follow. So whenever I'm on, you'll be able to see it. If you're on YouTube, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, if you're following us there, follow us on those platforms as well. Click the notification bell so that whenever we're on, you will know from now on. All right. So once you do that, so I need you also to help me get the information out. Please help me to get the information out to other people. If you will click on my profile or the link above my head, you will see my digital business card, which is ice10k.com. You also see it written on the screen if you're watching us online, and you have the QR code, okay? ice10k.com. Click on it. You will see that you can become an affiliate. If you believe in this information and you want to get it out, to other people, whew, my goodness, become an affiliate for free. Become an affiliate for free. It takes 15 seconds to sign up. And if you refer somebody to us, if they have a mortgage and at least $100,000 in debt, that's all. If they have at least $100,000 in debt and a mortgage, and you refer them to us and they become a client, we will pay you $300. Listen, you don't have to do anything else. Here's how easy it is. When you know somebody wants to pay off their debt, the credit that they have established, if they want to eliminate their credit more efficiently, all right, they want to pay it back more efficiently. Here's what you want to do: go to the P.I.L.L Method YouTube channel and watch some of these videos. That's it. Go to the YouTube channel and watch some of these videos marked "How to Pay Off Mortgages in 7 years." Follow up with them. No more than don't take more than 48 hours. The interest goes down after 48 hours. Follow up with them within 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours. If they still want to know more, then click the other button that is underneath signing up, and then you can refer them by putting your name as the referral partner. Send us their contact information. Just follow the instructions and then send it in. Once you send it in, our team will contact them, and then you're done. Because you have become an affiliate and you put your name on that card, then that referral belongs to you. When they become a client, we will send you out $300. All right, Jewel Jones said already signed up. Lord have mercy. All right. So watch this, folks. Watch this. I need you to continue here. So we're going to put the book back on the screen now. We're putting the book on the screen. If you see now, this book is the most powerful book on the planet on this subject to date, because we're working on book number 2. But read the whole book. All right. We have some people who are not reading the whole book. And I want to tell you something about this book. If you're trying to get this book to find out ABC, I mean, I'm going to pay X amount of dollars on this day of the month to get out of debt. No, that's not what the book is. The book is how to understand what has been going on for 89 years and to give you the tools you need to combat that, but giving you an understanding of what debt is, what being leveraged to the hilt is. And then we're going to give you an understanding of how to undo that. So you need to have an understanding of what's being done to you, but you also need a program that is uniquely your own. But by getting the book, you will understand the basics of it all. And if you want 2 books, all you have to do is order the book from Amazon today. And once you order the book from Amazon today, then screenshot your receipt and then go to my Instagram and upload your screenshot with your address. I will send you an autographed copy of the same book, so you can get 2 for 1. So don't do this. This offer is is not good for the digital copy. It's only for the paperback copy. So if you buy the paperback copy and then upload your receipt, I'll send you another paperback copy signed by me. There you go. All right. So folks, we're going to jump back in here. I promise to give you, I see the number twos. I'm going to show you something even more powerful, and then we're going to show you the percentages. Are you ready? Here we go. I see 6 shares. Folks, go ahead and continue to share the room out to people, please. All right. Go ahead and share the room out. All right. So let me follow my own program here and share it. I need a few more people to share it and invite other people into the room right now. Okay. So here's what we're doing. All right. I need you to take a look at cumulative principal and cumulative interest. Look at this. Cumulative principal and cumulative interest. In the first year on this mortgage, here's what the bank wants you to do. Here is the amount of equity that you get. If you look at cumulative principal, this is the amount of equity that you will get in 1 year, $4,912.02. And look how much they want you to pay. Folks, no wonder it takes forever. It is the most inefficient way on the planet. So $23,866.38. That is how much you're going to pay to get $4,900 in equity. Folks, is that too much to pay? I need a yes or a no. Do you think $23,866.38 is too much to pay anyone just to pay your loan down by $4,912? Is that too much to pay? Yes or no? I need to see it. Put it in the chat. All right. Is that too much to pay? Okay. All right. Clifton Jackson says, signed up. How much to become a client? All right. You know what? I didn't go over that, Clifton. I am so sorry. Let me stop right now and handle that. If you want to become a client, you have to do what's called a savings and earnings report. Once we find out what we're doing for you, that savings and earnings report will generate a charge. Here's how it works. Go to ice10k.com, ice10k.com. All right, ice10k.com, and find the button that says get a savings and earnings report. Get a savings and earnings report today. Go ahead and do that. Once you click on that, getting a savings and earnings report, follow all the instructions and put in everything that you owe and a little bit of income information. And then we will be able to tell you the month, day, and year you'll be out of debt and how much interest you saved. We get a small percentage of the interest saved to pay for your program. So we need to get that information to know what we're charging you. But guess what, folks? You're spending a ton of money on interest. We're going to cut that interest by about 75%. And then we get a small piece of what you're saving. So it's money that would have gone to the bank anyway. We're taking a small portion, and you get a lifetime program that's guaranteed to produce for you for life. The numbers we give you are guaranteed. Well, Don, if I'm going to pay off my mortgage in 7 years, why do I need a lifetime guarantee? Well, who says that's going to be your only mortgage? You can pay off 1 in 7, then get another one, and then get another one, and then get another one. And each time you do that, when you put in your numbers in new numbers into the same program, we have to guarantee those results for life. You pay for it once, and you have it for life. And all we get is a small percentage of the interest saved on the first amount of debt. And then the program is yours forever. Boy, oh boy. When you see how much interest you're paying and then how much interest you're saving, it is a game changer. So take some of that money that you're giving to the bank. It pays for your program for life, and you keep all the rest of the interest forever from now on. Boy, oh boy. So watch this, folks. We're back on the screen. We're putting it back on the screen. Back on the screen. All right. So we have 49. So if we're going to pay this in 1 year, okay, Do we have to pay the $4,912.02? Do we have to pay it in 12 monthly installments? Yes or no? Do we have to pay it in 12 monthly installments, the $4,912.02? Do we have to pay that in monthly installments? Please put it into the chat, yes or no. Okay. Teacher Melanie says this changes the money game. You most certainly are right, Miss Teacher Melanie. You are most certainly right. So I need everybody to put something in the chat. The $4,912.02. Do I have to pay it in 12 monthly installments? Yes or no? That is how much principal I'll pay down in 1 year. Okay. I need some answers. Go ahead and put it into the chat. I am not seeing any answers yet. Yes or no? Oh boy. So James Keatle says, do we do this ourselves? We buy into your service. Listen, we have a computer program that does it all. All right. We'll probably go over that on tomorrow's show if I don't have time today. We're going to go over the opportunity cost calculator that does this. All right. And I can get at least we're going to give you the website that you can watch a short video on the technology that does all of the math and prompts you to what to do. So let's make sure that we get that for you today. We're going to put that in for the opportunity cost calculator. So maybe Kurt, if you can go to P.I.L.L Method and get the link for the opportunity cost calculator, and let's post it as well so that people can actually see the technology that does all of this. Now watch this, folks. It says no. So I'm getting a bunch of no's. So let's just say, now remember, this is not my program. We're just using this as a teaching tool today, just as a teaching tool. All right. Now, once you rewatch this, let's say you want to share this with others. You know you can by going to this amortization schedule. This is online. This is Brett Whistle, BRETWHIS as in Sam, S as in Sam, EL, BrettWhistle.net. You can watch this video over and over and over again, and then get your and go online, and you can start teaching this yourself. How about that? Especially if you're a financial teacher, like Teacher Melanie here. Teacher Melanie, this is BrettWhistle.net. All right. This is not my program here. All right. This is somebody else's amortization schedule. I just use it as a teaching tool. So can you? How about that? All right. So if we don't have, let's just say we have that. Just say we have some money in the bank. If I have it, and if I wanted to, could I prepay the $4,912.02 on line one? Could I pay that on line one if I had it? And if I did, what would happen? Let me put the calculator back on the screen again, and I'm going to show you how powerful this is once you understand what's really going on, what the bank is doing, and how efficient it is. All right. All right. Tank says amortization schedule is way too slow, should be against the law. Well, yes, Tank, listen, it's too slow if you can't read it. But what if you can read it? See, there's a weakness in the system, and I'm getting ready to show you the weakness right now, Tank. As a matter of fact, you don't want to get rid of the amortization once you learn how to read it, because it looks different once you learn how to read it. Watch this. So watch this $4,912.02. We're going to put in we're going to put in our original amount of $400,000. Okay. $400,000. Okay. There's our $400,000. We're going to subtract the $4,912.02. We're going to pay it all at once on line one. Our very first payment. Make our first payment, and then we're going to add to it. Okay. We'll add to this. So we're going to subtract $4,912.02. We're going to subtract that. Watch this. We get $395,000 $87.98. Folks, is this the same number that's on line 12? Don, are you telling me right now, if I give this to the bank on line 1, I'll be paid down to line 12 in 1 month? And if I'm paid down to line 12 in 1 month, what happens to all the interest payments between line 2 and line 12? What happens to all those interest payments? They are canceled. Boom! Just like that. Oh my goodness. That's what I'm talking about. Teacher Melanie, what do you say about that? That we could do this. Now I'm going to show you some other numbers to back this up, how efficient this becomes when we look at leveraging somebody else's money more efficiently, when we look at it correctly. I believe in borrowing money at a discount. I don't believe in borrowing money. Oh no, Noel Curtis says, powerful. Miranda Dowdy says, pow, you got that right. Okay, so here's what we're saying, folks. If you do this, pay this, you just saved yourself, watch this, $21,888.84 in interest you never have to pay. Normally, it costs you $23,866 in interest to move the loan from 0 payments to 12 payments, from point A to point B. Point A, point B generally costs $23,866.38. We just went from point A to point B in 1 month by giving the bank that money in 1 month. So we didn't have to pay $23,866.38 to move it to here. It only cost $2,000 to move it from point A to point B. That's a $21,888.84 savings. Has anyone ever showed? If you're new to the room, has anyone ever showed you this before? And I need you to put a yes or a no in the chat. Yes or no in the chat. If you're new to the room, has anyone ever showed you how a mortgage actually works or how loans actually work? If you're new to the room today, all right? How powerful is this? All right. Yes or no? Has anybody ever showed you this? Has anybody ever showed you this before? Yes or no? Come on, respond to me, folks. Tracy Howard says no. Nobody's ever showed this. So Trisha Tucker says no. Nobody's ever showed this. No. No one has ever showed us this before. Okay, listen, Tracy Howard, Noel Curtis, Trisha Tucker. No one has ever showed us this before. James Keatle says no. No one has ever showed us this before. Listen, the information has always been there. The education has always been there, but it hasn't. It has been locked up. Somebody has made sure it didn't get into our schools. Teresa Abraham says, awesome. Some entity, the banking establishment, has kept this close to their chest for 89 years. The way these loans are amortized started in 1934. And up to now, the information has not gone out to you. So we're exposing today, interest cancellation exposes what's happening. Let me show you and then we'll get into the church example. We're going to get into the church. Noel Curtis says, so glad I opened your email this morning. Come on, Noel. I love it. I love it. All right. So watch this, folks. Watch this. If we continue to do this, we're going to make our loans more efficient. Here's what I mean. We just saved $21,888. Let me show you what we just saved. A penny saved is a penny earned, folks. A penny saved is a penny earned. I'm going to show you what happens when you invest properly here. Okay. I'm going to show you what happens when you invest in in leveraging other people's money. And we're going to learn how to leverage it more efficiently. So our savings, 21,888.84. That's our savings. What did we invest to get these savings? 4,000. Okay. Divided by $4,912.02. That's our investment. That's what we invested. What happened here when we did that? Look at this. You move the decimal places 2 points to the right. That's a 445% return on your money. Where else can you invest and instantly get a 445% return on your money? Because when you pay it this way, you do not ever have to give the bank that $21,888.84. That's an instant savings. And Benjamin Franklin said, a penny saved is a penny earned. I got to get a drink of water here, folks. Whoo! Listen, can you imagine getting a 400% return on your money? 446% return on your money. And when you make money this way, a penny saved is a penny earned. Remember that. You do not have to pay taxes on that. That kind of earning you don't have to pay taxes on. So, folks, if you keep doing this, what if we could take a look at this number, the number that the bank wants? That's the number the bank wants, for $463,000. And what if we could do this? We could take that $463,352 that the bank is looking for, and then tell them, yeah, you're only going to get about $150,000 of that. You're only going to get $150,000 out of me. By paying that little bit of interest, you're able to pay this loan off in about 7 years because of all the interest you do not pay. Folks, you don't need more money to manage paying off what you owe. What you need is to pay less interest to manage what you owe. And we just showed you something that is going to be so powerful in paying back what you owe more efficiently. Listen, 400% more efficiently. Boom, just like that. Listen, we're going to turn something that's inefficient into something that's more efficient, using your energies, using your work life, because the money you make, listen, the money you make should be going to build wealth for your family, not somebody else's. When we have been doing this for 89 years. Okay. We've listened to Susie Orman, we've listened to Dave Ramsey, and their information was good in its time, folks, but they've been teaching that for the last 30, 40, 50 years. What technology doesn't improve over 40 years? They've been teaching the same thing for 40 years. What information doesn't improve? We need better information. I've been teaching this for 17 years, and it gets better and better and better every year. We're not keeping, listen, when I first started this, it's nowhere near now what it was then. We're getting way more information now than when we first started. Watch this. We've just showed you how to get 400. We just showed you how to get over 400% return on your money. Okay. And there is so much more to learn about this. I wish I had more time because we're at 8:20 right now, 8:20, and I got to let you go by 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I got to let you go. So what are we going to talk about? Somebody asked me about church information. So let me show you. Let me go back here and get this information about this church. So we're going to write that down. I'm clicking back here. All right. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. There it is. Okay. So we have a payment. All right. All right. Let me put the information in here. All right. So Kirk, were we able to find, go to YouTube and get the opportunity cost calculator link? So we want to put that up while I'm doing it. We want to get that together while I'm doing this. So let me pull up a new, there it is, Brett Whistle. Pull up a new tab. All right. So here's how I'm going to work this. I'm going to work this backwards. We're going to put in our payment amount, okay, which is 1177.07. Okay. That's our payment. All right. And I think it was what was that? A 20-year loan, a 30-year loan? I forgot. 25-year loan? I forgot what it was. 20 years. Okay, thank you. All right, let's go back. So it was a 20-year loan. All right. So we have a 20-year loan. So that's let's see, 240 months. 240 months. And the interest rate is 4.5. 4.5. And I'm going to take the original amount out here. So here's what we're looking at. We're going to calculate that. The original amount on this church started out at right around 186,000. Okay, right at 186,000. Okay, so I need you to take a look at this, folks. We're paying this. Okay, now I need you to. A lot of churches I deal with. No, it's not on the website. It's not on the website. It's in YouTube. Go to find the video on YouTube. Find the video on YouTube, and then you just scroll down until you see the opportunity cost calculator. All right, thanks, Kurt. All right, so so 400. The very first payment, 479.37.69, and then $697 goes to interest. So here's what I'm asking. A lot of churches have, based on their regular giving patterns, not every church, but a lot of churches, okay, based on their regular giving pattern, have money set aside for emergencies. Okay, they have money set aside for emergencies. I'm just going to give you an example here. Let's just say we have a church that has $25,000 in reserves. They got $25,000 in reserves. Okay. And this is just an example. My program tells you exactly what to do and how to do all of this. I'm just giving some examples here. We got $25,000 in reserves. Based on what you've learned so far, and how are we getting there? All right. We have $25,000 in reserves. Boom, 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 boom. And when we take care of all the bills from the tithes and offerings that come in every single month, watch this. Oh, thank you. There it is. Opportunity cost calculator is on the screen. So anybody who wanted to see what we're doing here, the opportunity cost calculator thing is on the screen. All right. So I'm going to send it over to put it in the we're going to put it in the private chat as well, and then I'll copy it and paste it. Okay, and then we'll move it over to YouTube. To Clubhouse as well. So here's where we are, and how much money is going into the reserve fund. On average, about $1,000 a month. So here's my scenario. Here's our mortgage. Our mortgage is $186,000. All right, and we have a $25,000 reserve fund, and just out of regular giving, we pay all of the bills every single month, and we have about $1,000 left over that goes into the reserve fund. Okay, on average. Maybe not every month, but a lot of months. Okay, most months. Okay, watch this. All right, if we do that, let's just say that in the first year, we're going to pay this loan down by $5,872.54, and is $8,252.30 in interest that has been paid out. The interest is the part that's slowing us down. So what if I just round this off? Remember, I got $25,000 in reserve. $25,000 in reserve. Could we, Pastor Jewel Jones, could we borrow about $5,000 from our reserve fund? Could we borrow about $5,000 from our reserve fund? Could we do that if we had about 25 in reserve? And the answer is, well, yeah, we could if we wanted to. Let's borrow $5,000 from there. And if we paid it on line one, because I'm just rounding some stuff off. We got 5872.54. What if we put that $5,000? What if we put that $5,000 on principal with the very first payment? $5,000. Boom. We'd be paid down to here in 1 month. We just knocked off 11 payments we never have to make, Jewel Jones. And where did we get the money? Not from extra giving from the members. We got it from the reserve fund. Listen, tell the truth, shame the devil. Come on. So we did that, and look how much interest we saved. $7,574.75 of the Lord's money in interest we don't have to pay. Somebody said somewhere that the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous. Somebody said that somewhere. Okay. I read it in a book. The wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous. Here's one of the ways. We just got the same equity for $7,574.75 less. Oh, Jewel said that's so good. Watch this, Jewel. Watch this. I'm not done yet. Jewel, you think I'm done? I'm not done. Watch this. Remember, the church is putting about $1,000 a month into the reserve fund. So what if we just make the regular payment for a certain time? How long will it take us to put the $5,000 back into the reserve fund at $1,000 a month? How long will it take? Somebody. I'm putting $1,000 into the reserve fund. How long is it going to take me to put it back into the reserve fund? Anybody can answer. Anybody can answer. All right. How long is it going to take us? 5 months, Noel says. 5 months. So in 5 months, Jewel, you're going to have your $25,000 back in your reserve fund just, to take care of the emergencies. But then could you put another $5,000 on and knock another year off? Jewel, could you do that? Jewel, are you hearing me? Noel Curtis has hit the nail on the head when she says this has been hiding in plain sight. Jewel Jones says, absolutely, this has been hiding in plain sight. Now, Jewel, listen, man, listen, you think I'm done. You think I'm done here, but I'm not. I want to show you one other thing that's been hiding in the amortization schedule that has not been a part of our education. And this part is the part that makes it so very powerful. You thought you learned something powerful so far. You thought this was it? That ain't it. This is just part of it. Are you ready to learn what actually makes all of this come together? I'm going to show you something because most people are totally unaware of this. I'm looking at line 12 on this amortization schedule. I'm also looking at line 24 on this amortization schedule. Okay. He said, Jules says, hold on, I'm having heart palpitation. He says, stop giving me all of this. Can my heart take the next one? Jewel, I don't know. I hope your heart can, because you have to take this back to the congregation, my brother. You got to take it back to the congregation. Watch this. So, folks, what you're seeing here, there's so many different things we can do. And paying back a loan, because if we have $25,000 in our reserve fund, somebody might say, well, Don, why don't you, instead of doing 5,000, why don't you just do 12,000? I mean, we have it. It'll only take us about 12 months to pay it back. But watch this. This is why we do what we do here at the P.I.L.L method that no one else on the planet can do. I'm only going to give you two choices. Line 12, you can prepay, or line 24. And when I ask this question to people that I can talk to, I said, which one, if you had plenty of money in the bank, which one would you choose? Line 12 or line 24? Most people say line 24, because we can get rid of 24 payments and save ourselves over $15,000 in interest the church doesn't have to pay. The church doesn't have to pay $15,000. We got all of this equity practically for free at this point. Okay. So I'm going to show you the math on this. Clifton Jackson says 924. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to tell a little story. And here we go. Here's the story. Every now and then my wife makes zucchini bread. And when she makes zucchini bread, she puts in golden raisins. And this one Sunday, she's mixing everything up. She's heating up the oven, all right, grating the zucchini, and then mixing the batter. And then she looks into the pantry, and guess what? No golden raisins. So who gets to go to the store? Anybody know? Who gets to go to the store? Nobody ever gets that one wrong. All right. So who gets to go to the store? I get to go to the store. She says, go get me 2 boxes of raisins, golden raisins. I know what brand to get. Don't bring her back another brand she didn't ask for. I know what brand to get. But when I get to the store, I get a little confused. Clifton Jackson says, Don, you right. All right. So I get to the store, but I get a little confused. Why did I get confused? Here's why. Because the raisins come in 2 different size boxes. There's a 12-ounce box and there's an 18-ounce box. A 12-ounce box and an 18-ounce box, and they have 2 different prices. I love getting the biggest bang for my buck. So if they come in 2 different sizes and 2 different prices, how do I know which box to get? Which one gives me the better value? How do I know which one gives me the better value? Does anybody know? If I got 2 different sizes, I've got 2 different prices, how do I know which one is giving me the better value? Because you know me, I want to get the biggest bang for my buck. Does anybody know how to do that? What am I looking for? What am I looking for? All right. Anybody want to put it in the chat? All right. Anybody want to come to the stage and talk to me? Raise their hand. Let me check and see. I don't see any hands raised. All right. So here's the thing. I want to price per serving. Jules says price per serving. So Jules says, Jules, you're right. That's called the unit cost. All right. I want to know how much does it cost me per ounce? All right. So let me ask this. If I can get the raisins at 3 cents an ounce, buying 1 box, do I have any business paying 6 cents an ounce for the same raisins? If I can get those raisins for 3 cents an ounce, do I have any business paying 6 cents an ounce for the same raisins? Come on, people. That's what I need to look at. And you know what? They do the math for me. All I have to do is look at that little card on the shelf. It's right there in front of me. It tells me how much I'm paying per ounce. You know, listen, before I forget, I gotta give this story. When we invite people over to the house, sometimes they want water, and I get water at Costco, all right, or at Sam's Club, and then I'm getting this water. But then we have these water bottles, all right. We have these water bottles on this size, which is a 16, almost about a 16-ounce bottle, because I like getting these, all right. So, but my wife, she says, why don't we get the little bottles, the little 8-ounce bottles? Because sometimes people will, drink, half of this and then just leave them all over the house. And then we just, it just becomes water for the plants. So what I found out, and I got the 80, the little bottles, and they come 80 to a case. All right. And these come 40 to a case. When I looked at the price, these are almost $4 for the case. When I looked at the little bottles, they're like $10 to the case. And I looked at that price point. Do you know that these are a penny a bottle? And the little bottles are 12 cents a bottle. The little bottles are 12 cents a bottle, 11 and 12 cents a bottle. And I'm looking at listen, I've stopped buying those little bottles. We're going to use these. They're 1 penny a bottle. Come on, folks. I wasn't getting the biggest bang for my buck. So if we take a look at this, we can actually do some figuring out. So if we do, just to make it simple, I'm just going to use this one line to make it simple so you can see what's going on. So if let's just say we could save, the 82.52. So if I get my savings, 82.52.30, and I divide it by my prepayment of $5,872.54, I find out that I'm saving $1.40 per dollar. $1.40 per dollar. So when I put $1 on at this juncture, all right, I'm saving $1.40 in interest. I make it impossible for the bank to charge me $1.40 in interest. How many of you knew that? This is how we need to look at this. When you pay something, you want to know how much interest you're eliminating per dollar. You want to pay the right amount, the least amount you can pay to get the greatest advantage on saving the maximum amount of interest per dollar. I want to save the most I can save with the money I have right now. In this case, we're saving $1.40. If we do line 24, let's take a look at this. Line 24. Remember, I'm saving $1.40. We're going to put in our $16,000 in savings, $16,234.81, and we're going to divide it by $12,014.87. Divided by $12,014.87. Watch this. Equals $1.35. Whoo! Has anybody ever pointed this out to you, where you could actually pay too much at the wrong time and end up hurting yourself? That is called violating the law of diminished return. This is built into the opportunity cost calculator, so you will not ever violate this law. If I can save $1.40 for every dollar I put on, do I have any business trying to save $1.35 for every dollar I put on? Come on, folks. Do I? Listen, you know why I know that this is true? Because of how you buy gas. I know this is true because of how you buy gas. If there's 2 gas stations on the corner that you like and you need gas, which one do you go to? Which gas station do you go to if there's 2 gas stations on the corner that you like? Same corner. I've got, people say the cheapest. I'm going to go to the cheapest. By how much? By even a penny. If you have a 17-gallon tank and you're practically empty, and you're choosing a gas station because one is penny cheaper, do you realize you just made a decision for 17 cents? That's even if you fill up 17 cents. We're showing you how to cut your interest costs by over 75% by doing what is efficient, moving the right amount of money in the right month on the right day of the month. Now we're exposing what the bank has been doing. And I'm going to make it very clear if it hasn't been clear up to now. The bank has found a way for us to look at one thing over here. I need you to look at interest rate. I need you to look over here at your payment. I need you to look at how long your term is, whether it's a 20-year or a 15-year or a 10-year or a 30-year. I need you to look over here. But please don't look over here at the interest cost I'm bringing into my bank. Don't look at the interest cost. Look at everything else, but don't look at the interest cost. That's how this has been hidden in plain sight, because we're looking at everything else. And everything we've been taught is about looking over here, but not looking at the interest cost. Oh, James Keto says, my PennyMac loan company amortization calculator does not even show the cumulative principal and interest. You got that right, sir. They have left that out. They don't want you to see cumulative principal and cumulative interest. They left it out for a reason. And you know what else? Every time you've paid more on any loan that you've ever received, all right, I need you all to listen very closely, because I'm bringing it down. I'm getting right up in your face now. Okay. Anytime you've paid extra, you've never received a receipt that said, thank you very much for the extra payment. Here's how much interest you saved. And teacher Melanie, you know what's worse than that? We've never even bothered to ask. We've been giving people money and not know what our money is bought. When you give your money to something, you want to know, how much interest savings did I just pay for? How much time savings did I just pay for? We don't know. We just give it. And we've been taught that. And James Keto says, you got that right. We just give it without knowing what we're getting for it. We need a tool that's going to measure how much interest we're saving. We need a tool for that. And our program is the right tool for that. Now, when it comes to doing the right thing at the right time, did you know that there's so many different ways? Listen, I've just showed you just 2 different ways to make sure that you save more money. But when it comes to individuals, there's over 10 things that you have to consider. Let me show you something on the screen right now. Okay, in our last few minutes here, I got 16 minutes left of your time. All right, I'm going to show you why it's important to be more efficient and why it is more difficult. There are people online that do not have my program. All right, so we're going to put in here 5 exclamation point, which means 5 factorial. 5 factorial means if you have 5 variables, there are 120 ways to arrange these variables. Because we brought this out the other day. You want to do things in the right amounts, but you also want to do them in the right sequence. Pay the right loans at the right time, in the right month, on the right day of the month. There's so many things you need to do in the right sequence. If you have 5 things to consider, there's 120 different ways to look at that, or to arrange those 5 things to find out which one is going to be the most efficient out of 120. Do you want to try to figure that out? Which one is the most efficient out of 120 different ways? When you borrow money and you're paying it back, there are not 5 variables that you need to consider. There are at least 10. At least 10 variables that you need to consider. Watch this. When you have 10 variables that you need to consider, now it explodes to 3,628,800 different ways to manage 10 variables to figure out which one is the most efficient way of doing something. Bankers know that. This is why they have a system, and they tell you all you have to do is pay more. But if you don't hit the right amount, the right day, the right loan out of your 3,628,800 different ways to manage your finances every single month, if you don't hit the right one out of over 3 million, you're losing money. And every dime, every dollar, every $100, every $1,000, every $10,000 you don't save for your family, the bank picks up and uses. That's what's been going on for the last 89 years. And this is why we're saying kill the debt, expose the banks. I am not anti-bank. I am pro-education. I actually like my banks because they have a product I need. They've got plenty of money that I can leverage at a discount. So, folks, how about learning how to get all of your loans now and find out how we here at the P.I.L.L Method can give you a 75% coupon that you can use after the fact. You've already bought it. You've already got the house. You've already got the car. You've already gotten the education. Because listen, this Sunday, I'm working with somebody who has student loans. Oh, they went to Oakwood University. He's a pastor with student loans. Okay. And we're going to show him how to get rid of his student loans in about 5 years. Yeah. Pastors, they don't make a whole lot of money. And let me tell you something, pastors. Let me tell you something, church workers. Let me tell you something, teachers, firefighters. Let me tell you something, people who work for a living, who trade time for dollars. Let me tell you something, people who have W-2 income. You can cut your interest costs by 75% with your current budget. Take the interest that you're saving, invest it properly, you can turn it into over $1 million for your family. Folks, stop spending your children's inheritance on interest. Stop it. Stop it today. And start doing your thing. Start doing your thing the right way. Come on board with the P.I.L.L Method. Get a savings and earnings report at least. Okay? Get that at least. And find out how much interest you can save. And then we'll show you also how you can turn that into interest savings and make money. Let me bring something else up on screen here. I'm going to show you some things here going into the last few minutes. Some things that we've done for some clients. We're going to put some case studies up just to show you what can happen when you get a savings and earnings report. All right. Put that up. And we'll also may go over all the benefits that you can get with the P.I.L.L Method. So we're going to open that up and we're going to slide that over. Okay. Let's bring this. I'm going to bring this over here and watch this. Okay. Here's what we call a comparative. And this is the kind of work that we do for our clients. All right. In the last, we got 10 minutes left. We got 10 minutes left. This is a loan for $156,000, $156,500 over 30 years. Here is this is a brand new loan. And here is what we told this client. In the first 5 years, if you continue to do what most people do, in the first 5 years, here's what the bank wants from you. For you to pay your loan down by $14,949.52. And at 4% interest, you're going to pay the bank $29,879.48 in the first 5 years. I need you to focus in on this $29,000 that the bank wants them to pay in 5 years. Look at that. Okay. Also, look at the whole number. When you add up the principal and interest for the first 5 years, it comes to $44,829. $44,829. That's what it is for the first 5 years. But out of that money, you only get about $15,000 worth of benefit out of $44,000. Do you want to keep spending your money that way? Because of the inefficiency of not being able to read an amortization schedule. You can make an amortization schedule more profitable for you once you learn how to read it and you use some technology to take advantage of it. That's why we gave you those links today, so you can watch a video on the opportunity cost calculator. Remember, this 4% interest really means paying back the bank 71.87% of what you borrowed. In other words, they want $112,477.46. This family with their current budget qualified for this loan for 30 years. It was a payment they could afford, but what they weren't looking at was and understanding was the total interest cost of managing that loan was $112,477. Here's what we showed this family. You can continue to do that, or you can give the bank pay back the bank your $156,500 that you owe, pay them $112,477.46 in interest, and then pay it back over 30 years. You could do it that way because that's what they want. Or you could pay out $28,050.40 to manage it and be done in 6.7 years. What? Save $89,000 in interest, almost $90,000 in interest. You don't have to pay them. Watch that. Okay. So remember this $29,000. This is what they want you to pay in the first 5 years, and you don't even feel it. It's built into that payment that you can afford. You were so happy to get the keys to the house that you weren't looking at the total cost of managing the debt. What is my payment? The payment I can afford, and I get used to paying over 5 years, but I didn't even realize that I was paying $29,000 in interest. The same amount of money that, if managed well, I could pay less than that to pay off the entire debt in 6.7 years. Folks, is this what you're looking for? Let me show you one more. Here. Okay. Let me show you another one. Comparative. Okay, here's one. All right. And I'm going to just call, because we're at the end now. I want to show you that in this one, in 60 months, 5 years, remember this $37,325 that the bank wants them to pay in the first 5 years. Watch this, just to pay off $18,000. Watch this. We're going to go down, pay back $204,000, not in 30 years, and pay the bank $143,000. We're going to pay $41,000 to manage the debt, not $143,000. That's $108,000 in interest savings. But look at this number, $37,000 just to pay them in 60 months, or pay $41,000 to pay out the whole thing in 7.5. You take your $108,000 that you would have given to the bank, and over the next 22 years, take that money that you would have given to the bank and turn it into $815,000 for your family. And that's at 1% return on your money. That's only 1% return on your money. What if you could get 6%, 7%, average 10 to 12% on that money? Now you're well over $1 million. That's what we're talking about today, folks. I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank everybody who mentioned something online, and I want to say thank you to all you people on in Clubhouse and online this morning for hanging out with me. This is my final words to you. I need you to go to ice10k.com and get your savings and earnings report. All right. And everybody can say their goodbyes now. Go to ice10k.com and get your savings and earnings report today. All right. So that you can know how much interest you can save and then invest in your family. And then how quickly you can pay back the money you owe. Listen, get your money at a discount. Okay. You're welcome, Jewel Jones. All right. Now, also, go to the same card, ice10k.com, and get and sign up to become an affiliate. Be a referral partner with us. Help us to get them information out. Share these videos far and wide. No one else is teaching this. Dave Ramsey's not teaching it. Susie Orman isn't teaching it. Any financial person that's out there is not teaching this right now, and people need to know. Listen, Teresa, thank you so much. Noel Curtis, thank you so much for being here. Kadaya Smith, thank you so much. She says great information. Thank you for this, folks. I appreciate you being here. Sign up, join. If you're on Clubhouse, join the house, because we're going to be doing a house. We're going to be in the Mortgage Syndicate Club on Sunday, giving you more good information. So get the book. And also, if you get my book, The P.I.L.L. Method, A Better Way to Eliminate Debt, if you buy the book today, I will send you out another book signed by me. Just take a screenshot of your receipt and then upload it to my Instagram, and you can find my Instagram. Just search P.I.L.L. Method for my Instagram. Search P.I.L.L. Method on Instagram, and you get Roosevelt Thurman says, talking to you soon, brother. Listen, it's been a long time. Let's get caught up, my brother. Let's get caught up. All right. So listen, everybody, do those things for me today and help us to share the message. Let's become part of this movement to ice the bank. Interest cancellation exposes the bank. Let's expose what they're doing, not as they're doing something evil, but we just need to be educated and learn the rules. Listen, I need you to hear from somebody before we go. Listen to oh my goodness, my brain does that for a minute. Sometimes we're going to listen to E.T. the hip hop preacher, because he used the P.I.L.L. method to pay off all of his debt. And I will see you all again on Sunday. All right. Thank you, Kurt. This is Eric Thomas. E.T. the hip hop preacher. And then we're going to say goodbye, and we'll see you on Sunday. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye.
Listen to me, y'all. But one of his mentees took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. So when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down for my wife, because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest.